Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a video that's been highly requested, especially recently, and I felt a little bit overwhelmed by the idea of doing this video because it's going to be a big task, but I am going to go over my perfume collection. I am going to show you every perfume I own, talk about the notes, talk about whether I love it, if it's a top favorite or something that maybe I'm trying to use up, and I have a couple that I'm actually going to declutter just because they're not my favorites. I don't reach for them, so I'm going to give them to friends or family, somebody that will use them. I used to have a lot more perfumes and wear perfume a lot more heavily when I worked outside of the home. I used to work at a bar for 10 years. So that was my time to really put on my perfume, obviously pre-COVID. And I got so many compliments at the bar, but I've kind of changed my taste, I guess, and a lot of the perfumes that I used to love were limited edition. You can't get them anymore, so I try to stick to ones I can actually repurchase. I used to buy a lot on eBay because, again, a lot of them were limited edition, a lot of Escada. Some of mine are very affordable, some are very pricey, so I'll let you guys know as we move along. But if you've been wanting to see all of my perfumes, my top picks, what I get most complimented on, what I use the most, and then also just my collection, what I'm decluttering, then please keep watching. So let's start off with one of my newer fragrances, but I would say one of my top 3 favorites. I feel like this is going to be a staple in my collection. I know a lot of people love it. There's a reason it has a cult following, and that's going to be Baccarat Rouge 540. I'd heard about this for so long, and I'd even tried some that were similar to this, and people kept referencing Rouge 540, Baccarat Rouge 540, and I was like, what is this about? Like, what is this about? Everybody loves this fragrance, and I can see why. It's unisex, so it has a little bit of that sexy kind of cologne type undertone, but to me it is very feminine, and I feel like this is just the most complimented fragrance in my collection. Even just wearing this to the grocery store, to office visits, things that I've had to do since quarantine, I have not gotten as many compliments as I have when I've been wearing this. Even my neighbor, I gave her some of my lights. We did some remodeling and I gave her my old chandeliers, and she was like, "You smell so good," and I was wearing this. I've just had more compliments on this than any of my other fragrances. So this is one of the most expensive fragrances in my collection, but a little goes a long way. You can see that I've, done a little bit of damage, but I usually just do 2 or 3 sprays and I'm good to go. So the notes on this are jasmine, saffron, cedarwood, and ambergris. This is a very light scent. It's a sweet scent, but it's not overly sweet, not like vanilla cupcakes or anything like that. Oh my God, this is heaven. I feel like if my husband wore this, I would be all over him. Although again, I do think it's quite feminine. There's a little unisex twist to it. To me, I just smell almost just like a sweet, breezy, woody scent. I honestly don't think anyone would dislike this. I've never heard of anyone disliking it. There's some scents in here that I will tell you are very targeted towards, someone that loves super sickly sweet scents or someone that loves really aquatic scents. This one I feel like is universal. That's why I wanted to start out with it, because truly this is top pick for me. One of my top 3 fragrances in my collection. The next fragrance I want to talk about is also in my top 3. Very similar vibes to Baccarat, but very affordable. And this is a staple, Ariana Grande Cloud. Again, I just don't know how anybody wouldn't like this. It's just soft. These are not going to give you a headache. I have some in my collection that I can only handle a little bit of, some that kind of give me a headache, too floral, to this, to that. This is just soft, sweet. I would say this leans more marshmallow, whereas Baccarat, something about it is very special. It has that unisex twist. This is a little bit softer. It's got that marshmallow vanilla base. So the notes on Cloud are lavender, pear, and bergamot. Also coconut, praline, vanilla, orchid, and cashmere. It definitely has that marshmallow, coconut, very sweet scent, very gourmand. Beautiful, beautiful scent. Very similar, again, to Baccarat. So if you don't want to splurge, but you want kind of the similar vibes, I would definitely recommend Cloud. I've gone through a couple of these and even gifted a gift set to my neighbor who says she doesn't like fragrance, and it's on her counter. She loves it. So this is just a staple for me and a lot of other people. It's affordable. It's accessible. You can get it at Ulta. The only gripe I have with it is that it doesn't last as long. I would say Baccarat is definitely stronger. A couple sprays of that and I smell all day. This one doesn't wear as long, so you're going to have to reapply, but for the price, I'm okay with that. And then the other fragrance that's in my top 3, you guys already know, is going to be Kilian Love Don't Be Shy. This fragrance is stunning. I'm obsessed with it. If you don't like sweet, run for the hills. This is the sweetest fragrance I have in my collection. Hands down, the sweetest gourmand, like sugary, sweet overload, but I personally love that. If something has no sweetness to it, it actually feels biting to me and I don't like it. And it's interesting because I'm very, I like sweet, like wine, sweet drinks. I'm very much a sweet person. I'm not a spicy or salty person. So for me, anything sweet, I'm a sucker for. They do describe this as a warm floral, but I really don't smell floral at all. The key notes are orange blossom, vanilla, and luscious marshmallow. I smell candy marshmallow goodness. I do smell the orange blossom, but it's very, very sweet. And I almost get a hint of like grape bubble gum somehow. Oh my God, this is intoxicating. I don't know what else to say. If you love sweet scents, I think you would absolutely adore this fragrance. I think the packaging is beautiful. Again, it's a very expensive fragrance. I find this one lingers on me quite well. It's not as strong as the Baccarat because it doesn't have any of that like unisex vibe. This is very much just like sugary sweet. So it's a little bit softer, whipped marshmallow candy. So I ended up buying the travel size off Sephora, fell in love with it immediately and went and got the full size. Top 3 picks for me are the 3 that I just mentioned. They are my favorites. If I had to get rid of all my other perfumes, I would stick here. This is definitely for those that love the sweetest of sweet perfumes. Next, I want to talk about some of my favorites from KKW Fragrance. I know a lot of people give flack to Kim Kardashian and the Kardashians and the Jenners, but their fragrances, she has some hits. So the first one I want to talk about is BFF from her Hearts collection. So this was last Valentine's Day. They sold out and then she just brought them back, which I'm so thankful. I have 2 actually because I bought a backup. This is how much I love this fragrance. So I don't love the actual component. It's cute, but it's really not functional because they have to lay down like this. But the scent on this, I again don't see anybody not liking. This got rave reviews, as well as another one I'm going to mention from her Hearts line. I did try all of them, so all 6 that were kind of in the matte, you know, candy packaging, and these 2 stand out to me. The notes on this one are wild berries, pink currant, star apple, and then they have jasmine, pear blossom, cedarwood, marshmallow, and musk, and vanilla. This is exactly what it smells like. It essentially smells like that musky marshmallow with a little bit of a berry backing. Oh my gosh, this is so incredible. And these are really affordable, 30 bucks, which in terms of perfumes is very affordable when you compare it to the others. This has been a favorite for so long. Again, I have 2 of them. It just smells easy. I don't feel like anybody would be offended by it. This is not going to give you a headache. That musk really grounds the berries. It's not overly insanely sweet, but it is a sweet, musky fragrance. It just smells so good. I definitely smell that berry and a little bit of that pink currant, but it's grounded by the vanilla and the musk and the marshmallow. I'm sensing a theme here where I obviously love marshmallow, coconut, vanilla, musk, sweetness. This is a beautiful fragrance for any time. Highly recommend it. And these are actually back, so I'll link them down below. Also from that Valentine's collection, KKW did come out with some other ones. As I said, this is another favorite of mine. I have 2. I bought backups, and this is Bay. Honestly, if you were to ask me which one I like more between the 2, I really couldn't tell you. They're very similar. They both smell incredible. I feel that you couldn't go wrong. So Bay has very similar undertones to BFF, but the top notes on this are bergamot, juicy mandarin, and kiwi flower. So just a little bit different. Instead of the pink currant and the wild berries, you're gonna get that juicy mandarin and the kiwi. This one smells so good though. I can't decide which one I like better. They're both incredible. Again, I have 2 of each, and I even considered buying another one, but then I was like, no, like we're in quarantine. I have all of my fragrances and I really want to curate my collection down to what I really love. This one you'd have to fight me for, okay? These ones I'm mentioning right now, they're not going anywhere. They're my top picks. And just like BFF, this does have the whipped vanilla and the musk and the sandalwood, but this also has coconut water in it. Gives a very similar effect, just very nice, musky with a little bit of sweet, not overly fruity or anything like that. Just a beautiful fragrance. I don't know what else to say other than I love it and I highly recommend it. I have another favorite from KKW, and I've actually been burned by their fragrances. So I've learned to wait and see what other people are saying, really look at the notes, because I bought quite a few that were so floral that they actually made me like feel sick. So I don't love all of her fragrances, but these are the ones that stand out to me. So this one was the collaboration with her sister Kylie in the pink lips. And I have to say, when I first smelled this, I liked it, but I felt it was a little bit artificial. And I was like, I don't know. I wasn't overly in love because the hearts ones like blew me away. And that's what made me want to buy all of the other ones. And then I had to like reel it back in. So the notes on the pink lips are mandarin, bergamot, gardenia, coconut water, creamy coconut, pink musk, sandalwood. So what I can say about this is this one smells like a coconut vacation. And it almost smells, you guys are probably gonna be like, ew, but for some reason, do you remember what like your Barbies would smell like when you were younger? I think that's where the artificial comes in. It has that really coconut base, but almost like a Barbie, like a coconut Barbie. That sounds so weird. I wonder if I'm having like a weird flashback from my childhood. Not super jazzed about the packaging. I don't really care, but it's just kind of like gimmicky. I'd rather just have a standard bottle. But I have to say, when you spray this on the skin, you really just smell like you've been on vacation or you're on a vacation. It's very comforting, very coconut heavy. It does have that artificial element to it, but once I spray it, I really like it. And I have to say, every time I wear this, Ian comments and like smells me and he's like, ooh, like he's really into this. He doesn't know what perfume I'm wearing, but I've noticed when I wear this around the house, he comments on it and like is really into it, which is kind of weird, but I just wanted to note that for you guys. So if you like more of a coconut, just like a mild, creamy coconut musky scent, I think you'd really like this. So one that I didn't expect to like, and it's actually grown on me, when I did my Sephora haul of this recently, I said I didn't really love it, but as I wore it, I really did start to enjoy it. So this is from Kilian again. I have the small size. This is Kilian Princess. People were recommending this to me after I tried Love Don't Be Shy. Now I have to say this is definitely not as sweet as Love Don't Be Shy. This has some spice to it, and I think that's what kind of threw me off. It's considered a warm and spicy fragrant, but also a sweet gourmand. So when I sprayed it and actually let it settle in and wore it, the sweetness really pulled through, and I didn't mind the spiciness. It has a very fall cozy scent to me. The key notes in this one are ginger, green tea, and marshmallow. Again, that marshmallow gets me every time. So that ginger gives a little bit of spiciness, but the marshmallow does really ground it again. And it smells a little bit more spicy in the actual component, but then when you spray it on yourself, the marshmallow and the musk really kind of pull through and give you that sweet scent. So for me, this is a more grown-up fragrance, the Love Don't Be Shy. And a lot of the fragrances that I like, to be honest, I wouldn't say are mature. I don't tend to like mature scents because they really do give me a headache, and I'm very sensitive to that. And I just personally don't like the way they smell. I tend to go for more, again, sweet, gourmand, fruity, and then I do like aquatic and fresh, but I really don't like spicy, overly, I don't know, mature scents, I guess. Super floral can make me feel a little bit sick. This one is a mature fragrance for me because it has a little bit of that spice. Again, very cozy, but it's not overwhelming to where it's like straight cinnamon or straight ginger. Speaking of another cozy fragrance in my collection, this one I'm a little bit iffy on just because I feel like the spray works just as well. So this is the Sol de Janeiro fragrance, basically the fragrance of the Boom Boom Cream. Somebody actually like tried to like be really aggressive with me over that, the Bum Bum Cream or the Boom Boom Cream. I've actually used to call it the Bum Bum Cream, but it's supposed to be pronounced the Boom Boom Cream. Anyways, so this is a warm and spicy, but honestly, I don't smell any spice to this. The top notes in here are salted caramel, pistachio, and vanilla. This really just smells cozy, sweet. I can smell, you know, the vanilla, I can smell the pistachio, the salted caramel. To me, this is a very sweet, musky scent. I feel like this could go more beachy or it could go more cozy in the wintertime. It's a pretty safe bet, but I will say I have these spray. They have like a body spray. I would recommend that over this just because price-wise, I don't see this lasting as long. Like it's not something where I spray on a couple sprays and I smell it all day. I feel like it's just as strong as their body spray, and you can get that for a cheaper price. So I'll link both down below. I love the scent, but I don't feel that it's worth paying for the fragrance just because I don't feel it's much stronger than the actual body spray. So next I want to talk about a fragrance that's different than all the other ones I mentioned. This is more of a fresh, kind of aquatic fragrance. This smells incredible. This is new to my collection. It was sent over to me. So this is from Atelier Cologne. This is their newest release called Lemon Island. So I looked at this online, but I thought, oh, I don't really want to smell like lemons, but I'm telling you, I don't smell that at all. fall. So they say this is a fresh or fresh floral. It has lemon, jasmine, and vanilla. Again, the vanilla and the jasmine just do something to this. This smells like vacation. Again, very aquatic, very fresh. Not like the Kylie pink lips, because that one's more coconut based. This one does have more of that fresh opening. But again, the vanilla really grounds it. This, again, I feel like could be unisex, sort of similar to the way that the Baccarat is. It has that unisex feel. This smells like a vacation to me. My friend Cheryl actually teared up when she got this because she's like, I miss vacation just because of quarantine. It really does smell like a vacation. Very beachy, very aquatic. Again, I don't really feel like anybody would dislike this. It's not going to give you a headache or anything like that. It's not super sweet. It's more of a fresh scent, but I was really surprised. They sent this to me. I didn't think I would love it, and I do. Next up is one of my more fruity fragrances. I only have the travel size, and I wish it was in a spray. I don't use it as much as I'd like to because it's a rollerball, but they didn't offer a spray, and I just haven't picked up the full size. I think I have enough fragrance for now. So this is Burberry Her, and my friend Cheryl, our friend Cheryl, actually turned us. She did. She turned me on to this fragrance. So this is a fruity floral, and the key notes are dark berries, jasmine, and musk-amber. Definitely smell the dark berries in here, but it's very fruity, very sweet. And I can also smell that musk and that jasmine kind of grounding it. So this one is very fruity. I definitely smell the berries, but I also smell that jasmine and then that musk. It's a very, I don't know, almost like a fruity, bubbly fragrance. Almost like it has a little bit of champagne in there. I'm not sure if it does, but it has that like bubbly kind of fruity floral scent. Not super floral where you get a headache kind of thing, because that musk really does ground it. So this is another favorite of mine. I would use it more if it came in a spray. I just know myself, and looking at my collection, I tend to avoid the roll-on just because I would much rather spray and go. But I do love this fragrance. If you're looking for something that's a little bit more bubbly and bright but has a fruity element to it, I think you'd like this. Next up is one of my favorite fragrances to wear out. Of course, we're not going out, but if I were to go to a wedding or something like that, I tend to like this fragrance because I feel that it's a little bit more mature or sophisticated than a lot of my fruity, musky ones. This is Prada Candy Floss. So Prada has like a ton of candy this, candy that, and it was hard to keep up. This one, to me, smells a little bit like champagne, but a sweet champagne. So it's a warm and spicy, but the top notes are cherry, peach, and musk. And I'm wondering if it's that cherry that gives it that, like, I don't know, that bubbly, again, champagne kind of scent. This one's like a fruity, I think of like a bubbly champagne with some like fruit in it. Something like that. It's very sweet, but it has that crispness of it, and I'm wondering maybe if it's the cherry, again, like that little bit of tartness to it. So this one, I love the packaging too, but this is kind of a go-to, again, if I'm going to a wedding or something like that. It's sweet enough, it's not overpowering crazy, but it has that bubbly champagne element to it. It's one of my favorites. I haven't reached for it in a long time, again, because we're quarantined, but it's something that I would reach for if I were to go out. Another fragrance I really like, but again, it's in a rollerball and I just don't use it that much. This one is from Dolce & Gabbana, and this is called Dolce Garden. So I bought this off Sephora. I did like a blind buy. It's a warm floral, and the top notes are frangipani flower. Well, you know, I did my best. Coconut essence and YLANG-YLANG. Again, that coconut essence gets me, but this is really a soft, warm floral. This is a floral that I can actually wear. I will say it does lean a little bit floral for me. When I look at all my other preferences, I tend to not like floral based like this. I can definitely smell that this is like a soft floral to me. It's not overpowering, but it is one of the more floral fragrances. When I smell it, I definitely do smell the flowers. So I like it. Would I repurchase it? Probably not. It's quite strong as well. This one I have to be careful with just because, again, something about super floral fragrances can give me a headache very easily. So I would tend to just kind of roll this on, you know, the inside of my wrist and kind of call it a day. It does linger quite well, but it's just not my favorite. I do like it, but I don't see myself repurchasing this. Now that I'm thinking about it, I have another fragrance in my collection that reminds me of that Dolce & Gabbana, and that would be Tocca Simone. Now that I'm reading the notes, I can see why. So this is a fresh floral. The key notes are watermelon, YLANG-YLANG, and whatever the frangipani frangipani is. So they have two of the same key notes, and that is why they remind me of each other so much. This one's a little bit sweeter. That watermelon really comes through, but it has a little bit of that floral crispness to it. I really like it, but I have to say, I have noticed that I've gotten a couple headaches with this, and I wonder as I get older if it's a little bit different, because I tend to go for those really soft coconut base, marshmallow base, and I'm wondering it's because if I go too floral, I really will get a headache. This is quite strong. Again, like 2 sprays and you're good to go, just like the Dolce & Gabbana. If you like a light, feminine, fresh floral, I think you would really enjoy this. This is my favorite from Tocca. I've smelled quite a few, but I've noticed as I get a little bit older, maybe in quarantine as well, I just feel like, whoo, like things can really give me a headache if they're too strong. This is quite a strong fragrance. So now I want to jump back to Kilian, to my last fragrance purchase. This one I'm so undecided on, especially for the price. I had heard Stephanie from SMLXO rave about this, and I'd seen that it'd gone in and out of stock, in and out of stock. I went ahead and grabbed it because I've had such good luck with Kilian. So this is one of their new fragrances, Angel Share. I have to say the packaging is absolutely stunning. It really does look like, you know, a glass of cognac. So this is supposed to be something that I really typically don't go for, but she was raving about it, so I thought that I would try it. So this is supposed to be a warm and spicy scent. The key notes are cognac, hazelnut, and oak wood. So when I heard cognac, I was like, okay. But then when I saw the hazelnut, I thought that will really ground it, kind of make it sweet. And I have to say, it's so spicy. To me, I smell almost like a shot of Fireball, not quite as intense, but very close. To me, it smells like cognac with cinnamon in it. I just don't know. I had Ian smell it. I was like, what does it smell like? What does it smell like? And he was like, I don't know. He was like, cinnamon. And he was like, I don't know. It smells good though. He said he smelled like warm apple too, like cinnamon apple. So I'm almost like, maybe it's like a shot of like apple Crown Royal. Maybe that would be a better way to describe it. But even on the skin, I sprayed it on my skin a few days and I felt a little bit like, whew, like I just sprayed cinnamon on myself. I was hoping it was going to be similar to Kilian Princess in that it was going to be spicy and have a little bit of that cognac spicy, you know, tone to it, but also the hazelnut would bring it down maybe to like vanilla and all of that stuff. It's just very spicy for me. I smell like I sprayed myself with cinnamon and alcohol, and I just don't know if I love that. Again, my preferences are very sweet, so maybe it's not best suited for me, but some people seem to love it. I feel like if you like a super spicy scent, I think you would enjoy this, but just know that the cinnamon is very strong in this. Moving over to a fragrance that I've used quite a bit of, and I tend to go for this more in the winter time. It's a very comforting scent for me. So this is from the brand Comptoir Sud Pacific. I have never bought anything from this other than this. This is the Vanille Apricot scent, and this has notes of jackfruit, apricot, papaya, vanilla, and sugar candy. This is a very comforting, cozy scent. You definitely smell the vanilla, but you also do smell the apricot and the papaya. It's almost like a creamsicle, like vanilla orange scent, but very heavy on the vanilla. It almost smells like orange chocolate. I think it's that sugar candy and the vanilla. Very sweet, very gourmand, right? So kind of similar to Kilian Love Don't Be Shy in the sense that this is very sweet. There's no bite to it, no spice to it. It really is a vanilla scent with a little bit of like orange creamsicle on top. I really like it. Again, it's more of a cozy scent. I like to use this more in the winter or the fall time. It's easy. You just feel cozy and it kind of lingers on your clothes. So I like this. Don't know if I'd repurchase it, but it's something that I've used quite a bit of. Another cozy scent that I like to wear in the fall and the winter. This is throwing it back to KKW fragrance. This is the Kylie Jenner collaboration, but this is the Nude Lips. So they describe this as a vanilla amber musk. It has lily of the valley, solar spices, jasmine, peony, Tunisian vanilla, musk, amber. Definitely a very musky scent. Vanilla is definitely in there. Also smell the amber. This is a more cozy scent, kind of like Princess from Kilian. Not quite as spicy, but it's a vanilla scent with a little bit of spice to it. Very cozy, easy to wear, something that I would use in the winter and the fall time. It just makes me feel cozy. So not, again, like top favorite, but something that I keep in my collection and I do reach for when it's colder outside. So this next fragrance is something that I purchased from Glossier. They actually have a perfume and this is called Glossier You. I love the packaging on this. This one I feel like would really mold to your personal pheromones. Something about this, I just feel like it smells almost like it adjusts to you. The top notes are pink peppercorn, which I totally agree with. It's kind of like bright, sparkling with a little bit of spice. Iris, which is floral, little bit powdery, and then they have the creamy, musky kind of base. So this one is sweet. I definitely smell the pink peppercorn. To me, this is very like pink champagne, sparkling, bubbly. It has that floral kind of note to it, but it also, again, is very bubbly and bright. So I feel like a lot of people would really like this. It's quite strong, so just be careful. Again, sort of similar to the Tocca Simone, where a few sprays is enough for me or else I can get a headache. So throwing it back to Ariana Grande, I have a fragrance that is so old. I bought this years ago, but it's lasted me forever. And this is one of her OGs, which is Sweet Like Candy. This packaging is heavy set. It used to have like a little fuzzy ball on there, but somehow that got lost. So this is a sweet gourmand scent. Are we shocked? No. The top notes are sparkling blackberry, pear, and then you have jasmine, honeysuckle, and then you've got the marshmallow and the vanilla. I mean, I'm pretty much predictable at this point. This smells delicious. I really do smell kind of that blackberry on the top with a little bit of the musk vanilla at the bottom. This is very berry based. Like I can definitely smell that berries at the top. Again, very easy fragrance to wear. I don't feel like it's offensive or super sweet, super this, super that. It's just kind of like a middle of the ground, nice, pleasant fragrance. This next fragrance is one that I like, but I'm not in love with, and you can't get it anymore, so I'm gonna kind of breeze over it. But this is the KKW Peach fragrance. Again, I wish she didn't do like these really weird packaging. It's just not like my favorite. So I really like this, but it's very, very peachy. So the top notes are peach, nectarine, mandarin orange. I definitely smell that. Then you've got a little bit of jasmine and pink pepper. And then again, you've got vanilla, musk, sandalwood. Again, it's a very, you know, clementine, peachy kind of scent with a little bit of a sweet dry down. I like it. Again, I would only wear this in the summer and it's just kind of like a mixing. I might mix it with something a little bit more musky because you really, I mean, it's a very peach scent. So I have a couple of fragrances that I got from Scentbird that I really enjoy. So I wanted to kind of go over those quickly. This one is Moschino I Love Love. This is more of a citrus scent, one of the more citrusy ones, kind of like Atelier, the Lemon Island. So the top notes on this are grapefruit, orange, lemon, and red currant. Then you've got a little bit of sugar cane, lily of the valley, and then you've got a little bit of cinnamon with musk and woody notes. This is a very aquatic scent, very citrusy. You have a little bit of those woody notes to ground it again, but it is quite fresh and citrusy. I would probably wear this more so just in the summertime. So next up, I have a fragrance from Confessions of a Rebel, and this is called Get a Room. So this is an oriental woody amber. I didn't think I would like this. It's unisex, traditionally feminine, but I feel like I could see anyone wearing this. And it says the top notes are apple tree, mandarin, cypress, vanilla, and sage. I kind of smell the sage. It gives it a little bit of spice. I don't know really how to describe this. This is a very fresh scent, unisex. It's not sweet gourmand or anything like that. And I don't smell like a very sweet apple. It's more of a crisp kind of sour apple to it, but it's very fresh, like everyday scent. Again, unisex, I could see anybody wearing this. Not my favorite. It's a quick throw on and go, everyday fresh scent. So next I want to talk about a fragrance from Marc Jacobs. I believe it's the only one I have. I know Marc Jacobs has a ton of like daisy fragrances. A lot of people love them. So this is Daisy Love. You can see I'm about halfway done. So this one is a warm floral. They say it has cloudberries, tree petals, cashmere musks, driftwood. Again, a very safe scent, kind of like the Tocca Simone or the Dolce & Gabbana Garden. Just a very safe, warm floral. I'm noticing that I'm wanting to go more towards the Sweet Gourmand scents or the marshmallow based scents recently, and the florals are not my favorite. So this is an easy throw on and go scent. It's not something that I'm like totally in love with, but I'll use it up. I just won't repurchase it. So to end off this video, I have 3 fragrances that I'm going to be decluttering, starting off with this one from Atelier. I bought this a long time ago and I did get some use out of it, but this is their Pacific Lime. I just feel like this is a little bit too lime, almost like house cleaner. So they say it's a fresh citrus and fruits. The key notes are lime, coconut, and eucalyptus. I don't really smell the coconut. I smell lime through and through, maybe a little bit of that eucalyptus. It's a fresh scent, but I just feel like it's a little bit too almost like a lime, you know, disinfecting spray that you would use on your countertops, and I just don't tend to reach for it, so I'm gonna pass this one along. And then the last 2 I'm decluttering were super disappointing because I bought these when they launched and they were over $100 each, and they are from KIWI. I have to say the packaging is gorgeous, and these are huge components. So I have musk here, and then I have vanilla. You can see, I mean, I barely use these. I feel like these are so subtle. They're not strong at all, and they don't like smell like anything incredible. I mean, it smells like a nice musk, but it's just kind of basic. I don't want to have to layer, you know, 3 perfumes to get my scent when I have, you know, scents that I love. The vanilla, again, yeah, it smells like vanilla, but nothing intoxicating or really special. For some reason, I just wasn't wowed by these. You can see that I've had them for years and I haven't used them. I should have decluttered them long ago. I don't find them particularly long lasting, and I just wasn't in love. I like to spray on a fragrance. It's like self-care when I just really like love to feel the feeling of smelling something that's really, you know, cozy and nice and sweet and something that I enjoy. These I just didn't. So for the price tag alone, and then you add on the fact that I just wasn't very impressed with them, I wouldn't recommend them, and I'm gonna declutter them. All right, guys, so that concludes my perfume collection. And honestly, I really could probably get rid of half of these just because I really keep going for the same kind of 10, 15 fragrances. So I tried to tell you about my favorites at the front of the video and kind of move on to the ones that I'm not loving as much and tell you why. I will link everything down below, but let me know, what are your favorite fragrances? I'm curious if you guys have a taste like me, or if you think that, you know, the ones I like are way too sweet. I know it's all personal preference, but these are my favorite picks and the ones that I have in my collection. I think I'm set for now, and I need to use what I have, especially because we're in quarantine, before I buy any more. So again, I will link everything down below. Please subscribe if you're new. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.